I welcome you guys back into my next course. Now, what I want to talk about today is feelings. And you have to understand, if you want to feel your way through life, it's the only way forward. And you have to understand the only way forward to really live life is to be in your feelings. So when you're actually in your feelings, guys, that you have to understand something, that you're actually spiritual in your feelings. And every single day of your life, that when you're in your feelings, you're going to feel more spiritual and you're going to feel much more blessings, and you're going to be able to understand to cooperate in life much better when you're actually in your feelings, because your feelings are always telling you the story of experience. And you have to understand that if you're in your feelings today, you're going to be far likely much more happy than being in your brain. You have to understand that the important matter is that every single day that you focus on helping yourself to understand that life is what you say goes. And you must understand that what you say throughout life is every single day use your knowledge to be able to teach people something about your life. And you have to understand that every single day of my life, I'm always teaching a story. I'm teaching something so that I can grow, because you have to understand I'm using my whole being. I'm using the brain. I'm using my mindset. I'm using my brain. I'm using my feelings. I'm using my legs. I'm using my hands. I'm using the silence around me to speak. I'm doing everything in my power every single day to make sure that my life is heading in a better direction. So I'm making sure every single day of my life that I'm using my whole being to make sure that you guys get the message of Danny Milivojevic and to be able to understand how to grow. So if you want to understand how to grow your accounts today, and if you want to understand anything about life, then you have to understand that you have to try to succumb to a better way of life for yourself. So you have to do something today that's going to help you to succeed. So you have to understand that if you want to succeed today, then the only aspect of life that you have to understand is yourself right now, and you have to understand how to actually grow yourself. So you have to look inside of yourself right now, and you have to understand to always go within every single day, to understand that you have to do something today to make sure that you're benefiting people in the long run. So you must understand that if you want to benefit people in the long run, then you have to be self-reflective upon what you say, and you have to be self-reflective upon your life every single day. You have to do something today to help other people to grow. And you have to make sure every single day that you understand that when I make a life coaching video, I talk about a wide range of subjects all in one video. And I talk about anything that comes to mind, because you have to understand that anything that is put on the spot today is the technique to be able to understand how to grow. So you must understand that if you want to understand how to grow yourself every single day, you have to use your feelings, and you have to be succumbing to a better way of lifestyle for yourself, to follow Jesus Christ every single day, and to understand that life is to be made simple. And you must understand that if you really follow Jesus Christ and his teachings, then you're going to be able to succumb to a better way of life for yourself and other people. So I'm understanding that no matter what, that you must be grateful for what you have today, and you must be counting your blessings every single day, and you must understand that what you have today is yours solely, and you must understand that every single day of your life you must be benefiting yourself to actually grow. And you have to understand that every single day of my life I'm looking to always help myself to understand much more about life. I'm looking to help myself to become free, and I'm making sure every single day that I never want to be addicted to drugs. I never want to do drugs in my life. I'm making sure I succumb to a better way of image, in terms of a better image for myself, and I'm looking for a better direction all the time. So you have to understand that I stay away from alcohol, I'm staying away from drugs as much as I can, and I make sure every single day I'm looking as best as I can every single day. But make sure every single day of your life that you're doing something corresponding to spirituality and veganism. Every single day you must understand that you have to go and grow yourself, and you have to become a kind person to the world around you. So make sure you're never contributing to the planet in terms of killing the planet. So make sure you understand that you have to be always wary, and you have to be always aware about what you're doing in every single situation. And you have to understand that life is a test to be making a better life for yourself. So you must understand that if you want to grow, then you have to do a life coaching video, and you have to do music production, and you have to do solely your passions. So make sure you understand that you always have your passions to do, and do your passions every single day, and make sure you believe in yourself every single day, because I understand that I believe in myself. So for example, my music production, I understand that many people are not going to do it for me. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to do my life coaching video for me except me. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to live my life for me. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that what I'm doing really is always succumbing to a better way of life, regardless of the situation. And I'm making sure every single day of my life I'm looking to help myself to grow, so that I can help myself to understand much more about life. So you must understand, I read as much as I can. I make sure I'm always in the pinnacle of my life, succeeding to the best degree I can every single day, and I'm making sure that I'm successful to some extent all the time. So you must understand that if you want to become successful and far more successful than yesterday, then you have to go and really, really discipline yourself every single day to understand to delay gratification and to make sure that what you're putting into your body is healthy. And you have to understand that if you're drinking coffee, for example, you have to understand that you can overcome coffee through your body and you can overcome drugs through your body. So what do I mean? I mean, be in your body. I mean, be in the actual feelings of your life and make sure that you do what you feel like every single day. So what you feel like doing is do a better way of life, and make sure you understand that you're always looking to help yourself to grow in by means of expression, and making sure that you're expressing yourself to the fullest every single day, and making sure that you're doing something that's helping people to understand much more about life all the time. So I'm understanding that as long as I keep doing my videos and as long as I keep performing to a greater way of life, I'm making sure I'm always doing something that's roadworthy, and I'm making sure I'm always delivering content when I need to. And I make sure every single day that no matter what happens to me, I make sure that nothing is going to change the fact that I'm growing. So you must understand that I'm always growing myself. I'm always making sure I'm doing better in life. I'm making sure to do always ahead of the time. I'm making sure I'm always ahead of the times. I'm making sure always to make sure that my life is much more correspondent to a better way of life so that I can grow. And you have to understand that the whole point of life is to grow, and you must understand that you have to grow yourself to the best way of life. So every single day, focus on yourself every single day, and focus on your love of your life, and make sure you understand that your love of your life is your passions. So make sure you understand that if you are doing something around your passions every single day, that you're going to be far happier doing your passions every single day and doing something that's really, really you. And you have to understand that if you're doing yourself every single day, that you're going to be happier than doing other people. So make sure you mind your own business and do your own life, and make sure that you always succumb to a better way of life for yourself, so that everybody can grow around you, and so that you are never poisonous to the planet around you, but so that you can actually grow yourself in the process. I'm understanding that if you really, really put your real effort in to succeeding, I promise you're going to really, really benefit in the long run, because you're really willing to actually succeed, because you have to will yourself to succeed. So if you wake up today all drowsy, and if you wake up all alone and everything in terms of loneliness, and you're always on the bad side of life, you have to understand that there are 3 techniques of life. I promise you it's one. I promise you it's to grow. I promise you other ideas is making sure that you're giving ideas and making sure always that you're corresponding to a better way of life. And make sure every single day you understand that no matter what happens, that you're always delivering something that's really, really helpful for yourself to grow. So you have to understand that if you really want to help yourself to understand much more about life, you have to understand that you have to do a better way of life every single day, and you have to do something today to make sure that you're succeeding. So make sure you understand that you have to be disciplining yourself 24/7, and you have to be really, really helping yourself to understand that there's a better life waiting for you, as long as you're willing to grow from this situation right now. So you have to understand that nothing is temporary, and you must understand that everything is temporary at the same time. So make sure you understand that whatever you're going through in terms of hassles or stresses, or making sure that you understand that whatever you're going through in terms of life, you have to understand that it's only temporary. I mean, it's just for the moment. I mean, it's a test for you to understand how to grow from it, and you have to grow from it, and you have to really find techniques and skills to help yourself to grow. So what can you do at nighttime to help yourself to grow? I mean, go and do your music. I mean, go and do life coaching. I mean, go and do writing materials. I mean, go and really, really do audio programs. I mean, do something around yourself to grow. I mean, go and read a book. I mean, go and watch Netflix, for example. I mean, go and experience life for the better. I mean, do you understand? So make sure you understand that if you really, really want to do better, I promise you, nothing's going to stop you from doing that. I promise you, you have to want to do better. You have to, every single day, will yourself every single day to actually quit smoking, or to quit alcohol, or to quit drugs every single day. And you must understand to take it one day at a time. And you must understand every single day to never steal anything. So make sure you're always perfecting a greater way of life for yourself, but you're doing a greater job for yourself every single day, and you're making sure that you're doing something that's corresponding to a better way of life, because that's going to help you grow. Because every single day of my life, I'm always looking to grow. I'm looking to help myself to expand. I'm making sure I'm doing a YouTube channel every single day, and I'm doing something around myself every single day to grow, because every single day I understand that what matters most is me growing to the fullest, and making sure that I'm always disciplining myself to the fullest, to make sure that every single day that I'm learning how to grow myself in the process of life. By making sure I'm staying away from meat, I'm staying away from pizza, I'm staying away from cupcakes, I'm staying away from cake, I'm staying away from fish. I'm staying away from meatballs. I'm staying away from anything that's frozen food. I'm staying away from fried food. I'm staying away from anything that's too much fat. I'm staying away from peanut butter and hummus. I'm staying away from most of life. And why is that? Because I'm looking after my health. I'm making sure every single day of my life I go through life in a better direction, and I'm making sure I'm learning from the situation and making sure I'm learning something. I have to be learning to grow. I have to be making sure that my life is succeeding every single moment. So if you're alone in life, you have to understand that life is to be alone, and you have to learn how to live on your own. And you have to understand that you have to learn how to be independent, and you have to learn how to be interdependent. So what is interdependence? Interdependence is when you're independent, which is being alone and never needing other people's support, and making sure you understand that there are three types of ways of life. And the first one is dependence, where you're reliant on other people. And then we have independence, which is you never rely on other, you're never reliant on other people, but you're solely your own entrepreneur. And then we have interdependence, where you are thriving in life and you have your own workers and you have your own employees, and you're independent, but you're also interdependent while giving other people jobs and employment. And you have to understand that you have to be on the far side of interdependence. So you have to understand that if you want to be interdependent today, you have to learn self-education, and you have to understand that self-education is the best dominating industry in the world, where you actually self-help yourself every single day. You're looking for words of advice, and you're looking to help people to grow in some kind of direction moving forward, and you're making sure every single day of your life that you're doing something supportive for yourself to grow. So you have to understand that if you really want to grow yourself, and if you really want to do something today to make sure that you're succeeding, you're going to make sure that you're supportive in life every single day of your life, and you're going to make sure that you're doing something that's helping you to thrive. And you have to understand that if you want to thrive, you have to live life to the best ability possible every single day. I see, guys, so the only thing that matters is making sure that you never have a heart attack, and making sure that you are healthy throughout life. So make sure you're taking care of your health, making sure every single day you're doing something positive, and making sure that you're giving people ideas every single day is going to help you in the long run to do a better way of life. So be so passionate in what you're doing, and be so passionate about yourself every single day. Be so enthusiastic, just like a chihuahua is so organic in the way it flows throughout life. You understand those dogs that are chihuahuas? They're so wiggly. They wagging their tail all the time. They're so enthusiastic dogs. You have to be so enthusiastic like a chihuahua. You have to understand that life is like a chihuahua. Do you understand? You have to understand to be so passionate about what you're doing today. I promise you, if you're so passionate about what you're doing today, you'll do anything you can to succeed. You'll make sure every single day that you're doing something positive for yourself, and that you're really, really making sure you're taking care of your health every single moment of your life, and making sure you're never putting toxins down your throat, and making sure you're never smoking cigarettes, and making sure you're doing something that's corresponding to a better way of life is going to help you moving forward. So make sure you guys understand to become much more aware. So to become much more aware, you have to read more books, and you have to read much more materials. So you have to understand I have over 570 hours of worthy material of content I've made throughout my life on YouTube. So make sure you go through the playlist, and make sure you understand that if you go into my playlist section on YouTube, you're going to find all these videos that I made in terms of music and life coaching and comedy. And you must understand that I'm a comedian as well, and I do some comedy here and there. But the thing is, I'm practicing my tools every single day. I'm doing something positive. I'm making sure I'm always corresponding to my passions, and I'm making sure I'm always coming back to my passions, which is reading something, which is Netflix, and which is also life coaching and doing music production and audio materials and quotes. I understand I have over 33,000 quotes that you guys can grab right now in my Mega Drive on my YouTube channel and inside my Instagram. So you must understand that you have to link everything together, and you have to understand to always benefit yourself in the long run. You have to always make sure that every single day of your life that you're doing something that's going to help you succeed. So you have to understand that it's really about leadership skills and making sure that you're leading people to the greatest way of life. But when you're leading people to the greatest way of life, you're actually leading yourself along the way. And you have to understand that to be a leader is to be a grower, and you have to understand how to grow, and you have to understand every single day that you have to make it to 100 years of age, and you have to understand how it feels to be 100 years of age, and you have to understand every single day to learn from your mistakes. In a sense, so you're always making sure every single day you're doing something positive, and you're making sure that you're just a being. You have to understand how to be. And you have to understand every single day that your life is dependent on you. Every single day that you have to understand that you have to do something today to make sure that you're helping other people to succeed. Because when you help other people to succeed, and when you help others find the answer, you're going to find the answer for yourself. And you're going to understand that you have to unlock life by teaching. And you have to understand to teach something. So school teachers go to school to teach little kids how to work a 9-to-5 job. But Danny Milivojevic goes to school to teach you how to live life, because Danny Milivojevic is already a student of life. So Danny Milivojevic is a life coach of life because he chooses to grow himself to teach people on YouTube, which are my students, which is you, and you're my student right now, to teach you how to grow, because you have to understand that growing is the only foundation of life. And you have to always build bricks of houses every single day, because if you build bricks of sand and sticks of houses, you have to understand that the only house that's going to remain is the brick house. So you have to understand there are 3 types of houses, and the one is built on sand, and the other one's built on straws, and the other one's built on sticks. But there's another one which is built on bricks. And you have to understand that you have to have the house that's built on bricks. I mean, understand? So because when the wind comes, it's not going to blow, it's not going to blow your house away. And when the storm comes, your brick house is going to be able to remain simple and standing firm every single time. So you must understand that you have to be firm like a brick house. And you have to understand every single day that you have to build wisdom every single day of your life. And you have to understand every single day to be a student of people, because you have to understand I have over 570 hours of material, of growth material that I succumb to and that I made, because someday or sometime in the future, I understand that I can get up in front of people and I can start teaching people what I've learned in life. And I understand that moment is now. And I'm doing that right now. And I'm understanding that every single day I get up, I make sure I do my life coaching video. I make sure every single day I'm teaching something about my life. I'm making sure every single day I'm doing something to teach my story, and I'm teaching people a way of life, because you have to understand that everybody can teach you a way of life, and you have to understand that everybody can teach you something about their story, and everybody can teach you something about their life, and everybody can teach you something about life. So you must understand that you have to be a student of everybody. So why aren't people following me much? I mean, why are people never following Danny Milivojevic as much as other people? Because they believe that Danny Milivojevic doesn't succumb to anything. I mean, they believe that Danny Milivojevic is not as good as other people. I mean, you have to understand that I'm just as good as other people. And you have to understand that I can teach you something about life. And you have to understand that everybody can teach you something about life. So if you really want to learn from everybody, then you will. And you have to understand every single day that you have to really succumb to being a student of life, of everybody. So you have to understand that everybody can teach you something about life. I can teach you something about life every single day. And you have to understand that every single day, the way I wake up and the way I go sleep and the way I do things around the house and the way I really live my life is to be able to do a life coaching video and to be able to make music and to be able to do much more than I can every single day, and to find the energy I need every single day through veganism and making sure I'm always sexual in a way of being, and making sure that you understand that I never need to have a girlfriend. I never need to have kids. I never need to have kids or girlfriend in this lifetime. I'm completely happy with the way I am. But the thing is, I still have to improve, and I still have to make sure that I get happier throughout life every single day. So I have to understand to always want more for myself instead of less. So you have to understand that if you really want more for yourself instead of less, you're going to do whatever it takes every single day to succeed. But what I really love to do every single day is I love to life coach. I understand that every single day I do a video, I understand I'm much better than yesterday. I'm always doing something that's nice and beautiful in terms of wisdom every single day, because you have to learn from that, and you have to understand you have to express that, and you have to express yourself every single day. So the ways I express myself is through writing, through audio, and through video. And I make sure every single day I express myself through images. And I make sure every single day I'm doing something far more than yesterday, every single time, because I'm always learning to develop myself. And the more I develop myself every single day, I'm understanding that I read more books, I consume more content, I've always got something to do. I always have reading to do, I always have Netflix, I always have a better way of life. I'm living better than people who are living in prison. I mean, understand? And you have to understand, I live in my house almost 24/7, and you must understand that no matter what, I'm always indoors, And you have to understand that my house is my words, and I'm always in my words, and I'm always living in my words, because my words are strong and my words are bricks of wisdom. And you have to understand that if you really, really understand anything about life, then you have to understand words, and you have to understand word structures and the way things are said and the way things are gone in terms of metaphors. So if you understand anything about a metaphor, I'll give you a metaphor now. Understand that when you see rainbows and rain around life, you must understand that you always see the sunshine come up every single day through the moon, because the moon and the sun is the two yin yangs of life. And you have to understand every single day that metaphors in terms of anything that's a waterfall or anything that's really, really a bird singing on the tree or something like that is helping you to understand that you have to understand that you need to do better regardless. And you have to understand that's a metaphor, and you have to understand every single day metaphors are painting pictures for you to see every single day what life really means. And you have to understand to paint your pictures every single day, and you have to be an artist of some kind, and you have to do something every single day to be an artist. So do something of art. I mean words are art forms, and you have to understand the more words you give in life, the better for you, and the more you're actually succeeding, and the more you're actually doing life. So you have to understand that my mum and my dad really listen to me and what I have to say about life, because they live 20 years longer than me and 40 years longer than me. So you have to understand that my mum had me at 20 years of age when my dad was 40, and you have to understand that my mum and dad are 20 years apart. And you have to understand that my story in terms of how I grew up, I grew up in a divorced family, and you must understand that I grew up in a de facto family, which consists of a family of people that has two people in terms of a woman and a man who are not married, who had a kid, and that's a de facto that's a de facto family. So I grew up without a mother from the age of 8. And you must understand, I grew up with my dad, and my dad was my mother. And you have to understand, my dad's a father, but he's also my mother as well in some type of fashions. And he makes me food and stuff like that. But the thing is, I never rely on my dad to make me food. I never rely on him to make me food. And now if he wants to make me food, he'll usually make me food that's usually something to do with veganism. But sometimes he makes me food that's got nothing to do with veganism. In a sense, so the thing is, you have to make choices, and you have to make better choices, and you have to understand every single day that no matter what, that I grew up in a family of people where there was bashing going on and there was violence going on, and you have to understand every single day of your life. See guys, so I grew up in a family of people where there was a lot of violence going on, and there was a lot of threatening going on, and also just instability in terms of no stability. And you must understand that if you have to really, really emphasize yourself with my life, you have to understand that I lived a hard life. I understand that my life has been tough. And why has it been tough? Because I was someone who was abusing drugs. I was abusing ecstasy. I was abusing cocaine. I was doing methamphetamine. I was doing amphetamines. I was doing weed. I was smoking cigarettes. I was doing alcohol. And you have to understand, I grew up with people around me that were unsuccessful, and you must understand that made me unsuccessful, because you have to understand that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. You have to understand that whoever you surround yourself with is who you are. And you have to understand that if you really, really grow up around better people, you're going to become better for yourself. So make sure you understand that if you go independent right now, I promise you, if you just go and live life on your own somewhere, I promise you, you are going to improve. I promise you, you're going to actually live life to the better way of life. So if you understand that if you get away from your dad's home or mum's home and you go live on your own somewhere, I promise you there's nobody to lift you down. So make sure you lift yourself through positive material, and then you're going to become the positive material that you read from. And you must understand that every single day you must be reading every single day something of positive material to make sure that you're growing. So you have to understand that it's very important every single day to make sure that you're understanding how to grow yourself. So how you grow yourself, you must understand to grow yourself, you have to be making sure every single day you're reading something, and every single day you're doing something around YouTube, and you're doing something around social media every single day, but you're very passionate, and you're making sure you're very enthusiastic about what you're doing every single day, and you're making sure every single day that you're very kind to yourself every single day, and making sure you're never harming yourself and never putting poisons down yourself, and making sure you're living life but preparing for life, and making sure that you're preparing and really living life every single day of your life, and making sure you're always planning your life 24/7, planning. What are you going to do tomorrow, and what are you going to do after tomorrow, and what are you going to do next week, and what are you going to do next month and next year and 10 years down the road? What are your goals, and what kind of passions do you have? So every single day you must understand always to become much more aware by planning. So you have to understand that I plan my life 24/7. I'm always planning my life. I'm always in succumbing to my life to a better degree. So I'm making sure that my life is something much more about today. So I'm understanding I'm never sticking to yesterday. I'm never in the future. I'm never in the past. I'm always now. I'm always present. I'm always making sure that I'm omnipresent. I'm making sure every single day I'm learning how to grow myself. Every single day I'm learning how to be alone. I'm making sure every single day I'm doing something that's really, really constructive. Every single day I'm making sure that I'm doing something that's positive for myself to grow. Because what's important for me is not important for everybody else, but what's important for me matters. And you must understand every single day I have to do much more music production, and I really, really do want to do more music production. I really do want to do much more life coaching videos. I want to teach people much more. I want to teach people my story and how I live life, because you have to understand that you have to do something, and you have to understand every single day you have to go and really live your life. So make sure every single day you're doing something that's constructive and something that's never bringing you down and something that's really healthy every single day. So making sure every single day that you're helping people as much as you can and doing something forever every single day. And you have to understand that no matter what, that you're always doing something forever in terms of doing your passions forever, and making sure every single day that you're never ever sad and that you're never ever crying, and that you're always helpful every single day. So make sure you understand that if you really want to cry, you can cry and you can express your emotions, but make sure you never stay upset for longer than 24 hours. So you must understand that if you really, really stay upset for longer than 24 hours, then make sure you call somebody and make sure you really, really talk to somebody about whatever's upsetting you. Because you have to understand that if you stay upset for longer than 24 hours, it can be suicide. And you must understand every single day, never be upset for longer than 24 hours. So you must understand that every single day, make sure you're happy and make sure you wake up happy. And make sure every single day you're doing something that's constructive, that's going to help you grow. I'm understanding that if you really want to succeed every single day, and if you really want to help people to benefit yourself every single day in the long run, you have to understand that you have to grow other people, and you have to understand that you have to reflect your life upon other people, and you have to be selfless to understand to solve people's problems. So because when you solve people's problems, you'll solve your own problems, and you'll always find the answer to what you want out of life. So make sure you understand that if you really want the answer, you have to look inside of yourself right now, because you have to understand that you can give yourself everything. You can give yourself the lifestyle you want, and you can get anything you ever dreamt of in this lifetime. You can get it if you really want to, and if you really, really believe in yourself. So if you really want to go around the world traveling and doing your music production, or if you really want to go do life coaching around the world and being a public speaker and being in front of people and being at your best version, then you'll do that. And then you understand that you have to will yourself to do that. And you have to understand that you have to believe in yourself that you can. And you have to understand every single day that you have to work toward it. And you have to understand every single day is a new day. Everything in terms of a new day becomes something new. And you must understand every single day that you have to understand how to live life. So you must understand that no matter what happens, you have to be very, very productive, and you have to be doing something every single day. I promise you, if I go 7 days without a life coaching video, I promise you I'll go crazy. I promise you must understand that I'll go crazy if I don't do a life coaching video every single day. I start going crazy. And why is that? Because I understand that my passions, I have to do my passions, and if I don't do my passions, I go crazy. So I have to be doing my passions every single day to be able to be staying sane for myself. I have to stay sane, and I have to understand that it's insane for me to not do my passions. So make sure you have passions. Make sure you do your passions or do your hobbies. So if you do love to surf, make sure you understand to go and surf, but make sure you get yourself the newest technology, because the newest technology now can sense where a shark is. You must understand that there are some type of watches right now that you can get for yourself, and it can sense a shark from 500 meters out. So you must understand that you have to understand that I never want to become a surfer, but the thing is that I love to surf. I love to surf on the beach, but never so far out in the distance where a shark can get me. I love to surf where the people are. I love to get my little boogie board, and I get the little small boogie board and I surf like that. But that's something different. And you have to understand that when you go in the sun, you have to understand that you have to wear something to protect your skin. Wear what scuba divers wear. Do you understand those scuba divers, when they jump in the ocean and they're scuba diving, they have something covering their skin. And why they're covering their skin? Because the water is very cold. So when you cover your skin, I promise you it's going to be a lot warmer for you in the water as well. So make sure every single day you understand that you're never in the ocean at 12 o'clock at night. and make sure you're never in the ocean at 12 o'clock in the morning. Understand? So make sure you understand that, because the sharks parade around at nighttime at 12 o'clock in the morning, and sharks also parade around 12 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you understand to always stay where the people are at the beaches, and make sure you understand that you're always where the red flags are in terms of the beaches. Make sure you understand that red and orange flags where the beaches are is where you have to be. So make sure you understand that, otherwise the torrent, in terms of the current, can take you out into the distance, and you have to understand that in Australia over here there's a lot of sharks going on. So make sure you be careful, and make sure you're never in the sun for longer than 30 minutes, because that way you're going to help to understand that you're going to prevent skin cancer, especially in Australia, because the ozone layer over here in Australia is very weak, and we have a weak ozone layer. And what's an ozone layer? Ozone layer is when the sun penetrates the sky, and you must understand that the sun penetrates the sky far more in Australia than anywhere else in the world, and you must understand that it gets really hot on your skin. And if you have any moles on your skin, so I have a mole right here, you can see my mole, and you must understand, if the sun really points the direction on that mole really much more than it's supposed to, then you must understand that the mole can become cancer. So make sure you be careful every single day in the sun, and make sure you wear a hat, and make sure you wear sunscreen every single day. So make sure you understand that no matter what, that you're always never in the sun more than 30 minutes. So make sure you understand that if you go to the beach, make sure you build a tent. Build one of those tents, and make sure you have an umbrella, and make sure every single day that you understand to keep yourself occupied all the time. So make sure you understand, if you go to the beach, go read a book on the beach. Go and walk on the beach while reading a book. Go and do a busking performance somewhere in the city. Just make sure you're always improving yourself, and making sure you're always reading something that's really beneficial. So make sure you're investing your money into books, and make sure you're doing something along the lines of helping yourself to grow, because that way you're going to help to understand much more about life, and you're going to understand how to live life much greater. So you're always helping yourself to understand that you have to really benefit yourself in the long term, and you have to do something positive every single day. But who believes in me? I promise you, Jesus Christ believes in me the most. And you must understand that I believe in myself, but Jesus Christ believes in me even more than I do myself. And you must understand every single day that if you really understand that Jesus Christ believes in you and loves you more than you love yourself, then you must understand that you have to follow Jesus Christ to understand his love, and to understand his real compassionate way of life every single day. So understand that no matter what, that you must care all the time, and you must really help yourself to absorb everything around you every single day, and you have to be living in the body every single day while living in your feelings, which is your body. And you must understand to embody yourself all the time every single day. So you're always learning something from nothing, and you're making sure you're doing something for nothing, and you're making sure you're doing something for free, but that you're really contributing to the planet in some type of way. But I have to be doing something all the time. I always have to be making a video, or I have to be making music, I have to be reading something, I have to be constantly and consistently present, and I have to be always doing something to overcome challenges in my life. So the biggest challenge of my life right now is overcoming this obstacle right now. I promise you, it's overcoming this moment. And how do I overcome this moment? I promise you, I have to live. I have to do something better. I have to do my passions. I have to succumb to a better way of life. I have to make sure that if I want to overcome this moment, I have to live in the moment. I have to make sure every single day I have to do something today to succeed. I have to make sure that my life is nicely and beautifully happening in terms of skill sets every single day, and that I'm always doing something much more better for myself every single day in terms of my health, to make sure that I'm living a long life, and to make sure I'm doing something that's really beneficial for my life every single day. So if you really understand anything about life, that you're understanding how to live life much more, and that you're really beneficial for yourself in terms of helping yourself to understand how to live life for yourself and other people. So make sure you understand that you're doing it for yourself all the time, and that you're always putting yourself first by making sure everybody else understands you and everybody else gets your message. So understanding how to talk is very important. So you must understand how to talk, and you must understand how to actually word your sentences all the time, and you must understand always to give a better attitude on the table all the time. So making sure all the time that you do something that's really, really successful for yourself every single day, but doing something that's really constructive all the time is going to get you forward, and it's going to help you to understand much more about living life in the moment. So you have to understand that if I'm really giving this video in a better direction, I'm always looking to be present. I'm making sure I'm always doing something much better than I am, and I'm making sure I'm always finding the words to say through my body, and I'm making sure I'm always embodying what I say in a direction of greatness, and I'm making sure every single day I'm always delivering content so that I can help people to grow. Because when I help people grow, I'm making sure that I help myself grow. I help myself to grow this way. So you must understand that if you really want to travel, then travel in your feelings and travel through experience, and make sure every single day that you experience something much more than yourself. And every single day, try to understand much more of a greater life. I mean, paint a better picture for yourself. I mean, paint something much better for yourself. I mean, every single day, give ideas. And the more ideas you give and the more you plan about your life, I promise you're going to find a way. I promise you're going to find a better way. I promise you'll find a better direction. I promise you there is a better direction. And you must understand that every single day that you always look to the better way. I mean, always make sure you're talking better, that you're looking better, and that you feel better, and that you're doing better in life. I mean, make sure you're always understanding how to talk, and you're always communicating to people on a regular basis, and making sure you approach people, and making sure you're always doing business. I mean, in the sense, so make sure every single day you're doing something that you can do. I mean, in the sense, so make sure you're never embarrassed. I mean, make sure you never be embarrassed in your life. I mean, always make sure that you're doing something that's helping you to move forward, because that way we have to grow, and that way we actually help ourselves to understand much more about life. So every single day, look for a better way, and make sure every single day that you're doing something that's really constructive, that's helping you grow. I mean, in a sense, so you have to understand that if you really want to understand anything about life, you have to understand that it's really about you, and you have to understand it's about you every single day, and you have to understand that no matter what happens, that you always put yourself out there. I mean, make sure you're always delivering content. I mean, making sure every single day you're doing something constructive that's helping you to be productive all the time. So make sure if you understand anything about life, make sure you're communicating better, and understanding that when I communicate better, I'm always looking for a better idea. I'm always looking for something to say. I'm always making sure that my life is headed in a better direction, because I understand that I have to overcome the moment. I have to overcome this moment by being in the moment. I mean, in a sense, I have to be in the moment to overcome the moment, but I have to be understanding that there's a better way of life for me. But if you go overboard, I promise you, if you go overboard in terms of life, then you have to understand that you have to be present, and you have to be in the moment. Because if you skip the moment, then you're actually in the past or in the future. So make sure you never skip the moment. I mean, make sure you're always present and in this moment, and making sure you always dig yourself into this moment through your breathing, and making sure that you understand how to breathe. So make sure you understand that you read books on breathing, and make sure every single day you read much more material about everything that I'm talking about every single day, so that you understand much more about life. So make sure every single day you understand that when you breathe through the nose in, and then exhale through the mouth. I mean, you understand? So breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. That's how you breathe. So make sure you understand that if you really, really want to understand anything about life, then you have to understand yourself, and you have to understand how to grow. I mean, that's the only point of recommendation. And you must understand every single day, you must do something better for yourself every single day. You must understand how to live your life much better. You have to always find a new technique. You have to find something new to say. You have to always deliver something much more, and you have to understand that there's always a better way that you can deliver, and there's always a better way that you can do something moving forward. So every single day you're always looking for a better way, and you're making sure every single day that you're doing something corresponding to a better way of life for yourself, so you can actually grow yourself. So every single day look for a better outcome, and make sure you're always doing something that's really helping you grow. Because when you help yourself to grow, you'll understand that there's a better way, and that you always flow throughout life in a better direction. So every single day, make sure that you're always foundational in what you say. Make sure you're always living your talk. Live the talk that you're saying. In a sense, so if you say something, make sure you're doing it. Make sure that you are what you say. In a sense, so make sure every single day you're looking for a better way. Make sure all the time that if you're saying something and you're not doing it, then why should people believe you? So make sure you understand that if you're doing what you say, I promise you it's going to be in alignment with the future, and it's going to be in alignment with everything. And you must understand that God's always on your side, so who can be against you? In a sense, so make sure you understand all the time that God's always with you, and God's always listening. So make sure you understand that Jesus Christ always shows you the way and the truth and the life. And you must understand every single day, you must understand how to live like Jesus Christ much more every single day. So if you want to live life to the best capacity every single day, you have to look upon Jesus Christ and how he lives life. And you must understand that everybody's fallen short of God. And you must understand that you have to go and get yourself back on track every single day upon Jesus Christ's name. And you must understand that you can always see the way. You can always focus on the better direction with Jesus Christ. So make sure every single day that you're learning how to live life to the best extent possible every single day. And understand if you're trapped in your house too long, make sure you're always overcoming the moment by being in the moment, and make sure you be with it every single day, because it shall pass you by. And you must understand that nothing's forever. And you must understand that whatever's forever is eternal. And you must understand that this life that we have is just one life. And you must understand that we live many lives in one body. And you must understand that every single day that there is love after death, and there is life after death. And you must understand that there is something better than this world. And you have to believe in that world. And you have to believe that there is a better world than this every single day. And you have to understand that you have to believe in something better. And you have to understand to do better all the time. So always focusing on a better direction, and always focusing on something that's moving forward. In terms of anything that's moving forward, you have to be always doing that. And you have to understand that if the stream goes down the stream, then you have to go down the stream as well. But you also have to go against the stream as well. And you have to understand that you have to focus on helping yourself to understand that Jesus Christ goes with the river. So make sure you understand that if you go with the river, you must understand that Jesus Christ is always just one river that's flowing down the stream. So make sure you go with the stream with Jesus Christ. Is that? So you're always learning how to grow, and you're learning how to actually benefit yourself in the long term, but you're making sure that you're always helping yourself to do something that's really much better for you every single day. So you're always learning how to learn, and you're learning how to become aware, and you're becoming aware that you are aware. You're learning how to be aware while you're aware. In a sense, so you're making sure every single day you're at your peak performance every single day, and you're making sure every single day you're doing something that's much more better for you, that is much more benefiting the planet. So benefit the planet every single day. So every single time and day that I go to the shops to get myself food and drinks, I never print out receipts, because I have a receipt in my bank account. I have a receipt already, so I can save paper. So make sure you can save paper this way. So make sure you understand to never print receipts or anything like that when you have it in your bank account. So if you're somebody without a bank account right now, make sure you understand every single day that you're doing something that's much more beneficial for you, and that you're really growing yourself in a better direction, but that you're really, really understanding how to live life in a better term all the time. So make sure your terms and conditions are always doing better, and that you're really, really understanding much more about how to speak and how to understand your life in a greater direction. So every single day of your life, you have to be always focusing on the better direction, and you have to be always focusing your will upon living a better life. And you have to understand, if you really live a better life, it's what you do behind the scenes that counts. So for example, Novak Djokovic is only the best tennis player in the world because he does behind the scenes what nobody else does. So you must understand that he practices his game and tennis game behind the scenes much more than anybody else, and that's why he's best in terms of the world, in terms of tennis. So make sure you understand that if you want to become much more better, then you have to understand to practice and practice and practice, and you have to be better than everybody else every single time, and you have to do always better than everybody else. And you have to understand that whatever somebody else is doing, you have to do it better than them. And you have to do something much better than them every single day. So you have to understand to focus on doing a better job all the time, so you can help yourself to succeed. So you must understand that if you really want to succeed every single day, you have to do something beneficial, and you have to understand every single day that it's much more about living life. So you must understand that what you are behind the scenes is who you are in real life. So make sure you understand that what you do behind the scenes is far more important when nobody's watching than what you do when people are watching. So make sure you understand that you have to be always in a better habits. You must understand to always have better habits, and you have to always understand a better way of life. So make sure you always have better habits, and making sure that you understand that your habits count every single day, and you must understand to count your habits in a better way. And every single day you're always counting in a better way, and you're doing your reflections upon yourself every single day, and you're doing something around whatever it is that you do. And you must understand every single day, you must understand that you have to practice, and you have to practice your hobbies every single day, and you have to do something that you can do in front of people, so you can create events around people, because that's how you become a millionaire. So every single day you have to always do a live performance in front of people, so you understand how to grow, because you have to understand that it's about you every single day, and you must care for yourself, and you must every single day learn how to go and control yourself every single day to become the best version of yourself, because that's the only thing that matters every single day. So if you really focus on a better life, and if you really focus on doing something every single day that's going to help you to succeed, then you're going to have a greater life, and you're going to have a nice and beautiful life for yourself. So every single day you're just focusing on something that's really helping you grow, and you're making sure that you're always in reflection upon yourself. I mean, you're doing something really every single day that's really benefiting you in the long run, because that's the only thing that matters. So every single day you must understand that if you really understand my direction and what I'm doing, I'm always focusing on Jesus Christ's direction. So if you follow me and my words and where I'm giving you in terms of my words, then you understand much more about Jesus Christ. So you must understand that I'm a reflection of Jesus Christ. So if you follow my will in terms of my words and where I'm pointing you in terms of my words, then you understand that way is a better way. And you must understand every single day that you have to go that better direction all the time, because in your life right now there is a better direction, and you have to look for it, and you have to look for a better way. And there's always a better way to do something, and there's always a better way to learn something. So look for a better way to do what you want to do. I mean, try to think of something better for yourself. I mean, try to think in the moment. I mean, try to be this moment. I mean, try to understand that you have to live in the moment like it's your last. I mean, you have to live today like it's your last day. So make sure every single day you're always living like it's your last day, and you're making sure every single day you're making the most of every single day. I mean, make sure every single day you're always benefiting yourself in the long run, and making sure you're always delivering content every single day, and you're doing something that's really positive for yourself, but making sure you never have cancer, and making sure you never have a heart attack in this lifetime, and making sure you're always eating the best foods, and making sure you're always filling yourself up with food and drink when you need it only. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you delay food and drink as much as possible, and delay food in terms of the sex and drugs with other people and with yourself, and make sure you understand that you have to delay sex with yourself as well. So you delay masturbation as much as you can, because you have to understand that pleasure never gets you anywhere, and you have to understand that no matter what, that if you really delay pleasure in your life, I promise you, you're going to live a better life, and you're going to have a better life every single time. And you must understand, if you want to live a long life, you have to delay food and drink. And you have to understand that food and drink never tastes good. I promise you, you must understand that what tastes good is being away from the food and drink as much as possible. I mean, you must understand, if you really understand how to live life, you have to understand how to delay gratification. You have to understand that delaying gratification is the only point of recommendation in terms of living a long life. And you must understand, if you want to live a long life, you have to delay food and drink as much as possible, and you have to be in the present moment as much as possible. So every single day that if you see yourself successful, then you have to understand, you have to paint a better picture of who you are in the terms of life. So you have to understand, if your wisdom can do it, and if your wisdom can see a better life, I promise you there is a chance that you can get back on track every single time, because you always can see the way forward, and you can see exactly where your wisdom went, and you can see exactly your path. So it's just about disciplining yourself every single day to get to that stage again and again. I mean, so making sure you understand that if you see your best version, I promise you, your wisdom can see your best version all the time. I mean, so what you need to do is you need to go towards your best version. I mean, you understand? Because your best version is Jesus Christ's version. And you must understand that's the best way. So if you understand the best way of life is Jesus Christ, then following Jesus Christ's footsteps every single day is going to lead you into eternal life, and it's going to lead you into the truth, and it's going to lead you into a better way of life. So you must understand, every single day, if you follow Jesus Christ, I promise you that's the best version of your life. I promise you every single day of your life, you must be following Jesus Christ, and you must understand that you have to follow that road. So if you're somebody that doesn't see your best version, I promise you there was a time in your life where you were at your best. I promise you that everybody succumbs to a better way of life at some point. So you must understand that your wisdom right now sees the way in Jesus Christ. I promise you must understand. So if you focus on Jesus Christ's direction, I promise you, if you just read Jesus Christ more, and you read much more Jesus Christ material, and you read this book of the Bible, and you read much more about him, I promise you Jesus Christ will show you the best direction all the time. And you must understand that if you really understand that you see your own best version, for example. So I have my own best version that I can see on a picture, and my best version, I can see my best version and how I look like. I understand I have to get back to that stage, and I understand that right now I'm a bit overweight. I'm a bit much more obese than before, because I'm on medications at the moment for schizophrenia. But the thing is that I see my best version. So you must understand that I have to get myself to my best version. And that's my best version, and that's how it's going to stay forever. And I'm understanding that anything more than that is more muscle building and stuff like that. But the thing is, I want to look like Jesus Christ. I want to make sure every single day I'm looking like Jesus Christ every single day. And I want to make sure every single day that I'm delaying gratification as much as possible so I can follow a better way of life. But I'm understanding that, let's say, a couple years down the road, I can get myself back on track right now. And I understand I can get myself back on track all the time, but it's more that I have to will myself every single day to make sure that I find myself doing much better than before every single day. I have to make sure every single day that my life is doing much better all the time. So every single day, focus on a better direction for yourself and focus on a better life for yourself in Jesus Christ's name. So if you want to understand anything about life, understand Jesus Christ all the time and make sure that you're always focusing on a better direction for yourself. Understand that if you really want to help yourself to grow, you have to understand Jesus Christ, and you have to understand that there's always a better road, and that's Jesus Christ's direction. So make sure every single day you're always focusing on the better way, which is Jesus Christ. In a sense, so make sure you're always focusing on helping you understand your life. You're saying your life is to be lived much better. You're saying you have to live a better life, and you have to care for yourself and other people, and you have to be loving, and you have to be kind, and you have to be generous, and you have to be generous with feelings, because you have to understand that Jesus Christ does everything for free. So if Jesus Christ has to work the 9 to 5, I promise you Jesus Christ goes to work the 9 to 5. I promise you if Jesus Christ wants kids in his life, then he has to succumb to becoming a provider for his family and for himself. And you must understand, then he has to work a 9 to 5 job just like everybody else to be able to achieve that goal. So if you have goals to become somebody of a father or a mother in this lifetime, then you have to have money in your pocket, and then you have to work a 9 to 5 job. But if you never want to work, in terms of, I'm pretty sure if you never want to work a 9 to 5 job, then you have to do something to work at your life. And you have to understand that you have to work at your life at working on yourself. You have to work on yourself. So work on yourself 24/7. Be working on yourself 24/7. Be doing something around working on your mindset and working on yourself every single day of your life. Because that way it's going to lead you on your way to Jesus Christ. So you must understand that if you want to become a mother or father in this lifetime, you have to have money in your pocket and you have to work a 9 to 5 job. And you have to understand that you have to do something like that. But if you never want kids, and if you never want to be a mother or father in your life, then you have to provide for yourself. And you have to become independent anyway. So you still have to become independent, and you still have to live away from your mum and dad. And you still have to make sure every single day that you have money on the table and you have food and drinks on the table for yourself. So you still have to work a 9 to 5 job. But the thing is that while you have a 9 to 5 job, you may as well have kids, and you may as well multiply, as Jesus Christ said. So make sure you understand that it's something that you can do, but you don't have to do it. I'm pretty sure you don't have to have kids in your lifetime. So you must understand that you just treat everybody else's kids just like you love yourself. Treat everybody else just like you treat yourself. Make sure you understand that the way you treat yourself is the way you treat everybody else. So make sure you understand that what you have to understand about life is never be self-destructive and be positive about everything, every single day. Every single day of your life, you must understand that what you need out of life is to be a sole provider for yourself. So you have to take care of yourself, and you have to understand that you have to eat the best foods and drinks. And you have to understand that the best food and drink on the table right now is veganism food. Anything to do with vegan food is the best food. So stay away from the processed foods out there, and stay away from anything that's frozen. Stay away from also anything that's fried. Never eat fried food. Never eat frozen food, and never eat pizza. Never eat cake. Never eat biscuits. Never eat anything that's peanut butter and hummus. Stay away from high-fat food. Because that way you're going to live a life. Make sure if you want the best diet, make sure you eat legumes, and make sure you eat beans, and make sure you eat anything to do with water and soy milk. So make sure you eat legumes and soy milk every single day of your life, and make sure you eat cereals for yourself. So eat some cereal like Wheat Bix or something like that, or oatmeal, and make sure every single day you're doing that for yourself, because you're going to have a better life like this. Regardless of how you look, you're going to be able to understand yourself much greater when you're living a better way. So you must understand every single day that if you eat your foods and vegetables that you see in you right now, and what you see is what goes. And you must understand that's because that's because Jesus Christ is also showing you the way of life. So make sure you understand that no matter what you need to do is you need to eat legumes every single day, and you need to eat water and soy milk every single day, and stay to it every single day. Because no matter how you look, I promise you it's going to help you to understand that you're going to be on your best version anyway. And you're going to understand every single day that your best version eats the best foods and drinks. So make sure you understand that no one shake can do it for you. I promise you have to eat whole foods and vegetables. You must understand, you have to understand every single day you must realize a better way for yourself. And there's always a better way, and there's always a better direction. So if you want to focus on something better for yourself, then you have to focus on a better life, and you have to understand that there's always something better to do. So focus on a better direction, and focus on making sure that there's a better direction in you right now. And there's something in you right now that tells me that since you are watching this video until this point, that you can do it, and that you can follow Jesus Christ, and that you can actually succumb to a better way of lifestyle, because you are always watching, and you're always making sure that you're always doing a student way of life, and you're making sure that there's a better life waiting for you, as long as you're willing to do it. I promise you that because you're watching me, I promise you, you are willing to actually help your life, and you're actually willing to help yourself to succeed. So make sure every single day you're making sure that you're following Jesus Christ, and that you're doing something positive for yourself, and that you're really succumbing to a better way of life every single day of your life. That you're always focusing on the greater way of life for yourself, because that's what matters. And what matters is yourself right now. And you have to focus on a greater way of life for yourself to make sure that you're worthy. So you have to understand that every single day of your life, do something positive and make sure you succeed, because that's the only way of life. See, anyway, guys, so if you want something much more about life, make sure you're communicating better. I mean, make sure you're always working on your synonyms and antonyms, because your synonyms and antonyms are connecting the words together. So if you connect the words together with your synonyms and antonyms, I promise you, you're going to have a much more better vocabulary to speak on camera, and you're going to be doing much better for yourself. So if you want to focus on a better direction, if you want to help yourself to succeed much greater than you are right now, then you have to focus on a better way of life. So make sure you understand to have better vocabulary skills, because that's going to help you grow. So if you want to help yourself to grow, you have to find ways and techniques and skills every single day to help yourself to understand much more about life. So make sure every single day you're doing something around vocabulary every single day, and doing something about helping yourself to succeed, because you have to understand that life is to be made simple. So when you make yourself more simple, and when you make a life that's much more greater than yourself right now, and when you actually focus on a better direction that you can see, and you can actually see that better direction. I mean, you can always see the better direction. I mean, you can always understand that first step that you need to take. I promise you, there's one step that you need to take right now. I promise you, and you can see it. I promise you, you can see that one step that you need to overcome. And right now, you have to, you have to understand that you can overcome it with your feelings. You can embody yourself with your feelings to overcome the situation with the present moment. And you have to understand that you can overcome anything one step at a time. So you have to understand, as Oprah Winfrey said, that there's always one step that you can grab. I promise you, there's always one step that you can do. I promise you, you can do the first step. I promise you, there's a million steps you have to take in this lifetime. I promise you. But the thing is that you have to start with the first step. And you have to understand that you have to do one step at a time. And you have to overcome challenges one step at a time, as Oprah Winfrey says. I mean, in a sense, so make sure every single day of your life that you're overcoming each and every single obstacle of your life one step at a time. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, that you can always achieve the first step. I promise you, the first step is always there for you, and it's something that you can see, and it's your life plan. I mean, in a sense, so the more you overcome barriers in your life, the more you'll find Jesus Christ. I mean, in a sense, so make sure every single day of your life that you're overcoming these obstacles. Every single day of your life, you're overcoming these challenges for yourself, so you can actually help yourself to grow, and so you can help yourself to do a better way of life. So you must understand that if you focus on a better way of life, and if you focus on a better direction for yourself, you always find something new to do, and you always find something new to say. So every single day of your life, do something that's really positive for yourself every single day of your life, and make sure you're always connecting videos together and doing something positive for yourself, but making sure you understand that this video over here is going to be my how-to series, and I make sure every single day I'm doing something that's actually beneficial. So if you really benefit yourself in the long run, and if you really want to succeed in the long run, you're going to do anything it takes to succeed. You're going to make sure every single day you're doing something that's helping people to move forward, because that way you're helping yourself move forward. So make sure you understand that you have to be a freelancer, and you have to do something around freelance, and you have to make sure that when you have an itch, or when you actually feel like you have to scratch yourself, I mean, make sure you never scratch yourself. I mean, make sure you actually help yourself to understand that scratching yourself is pleasure. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you never pleasurize yourself. I mean, make sure you understand that if you really want to help yourself have a better life, make sure you understand that you have no cancer, and make sure you understand that it's much more about life itself. So making sure that you're always in the moment, and making sure that you're living life to the fullest degree every single day, and making sure that you're positive about every single situation in your life, but making sure every single day you're doing something that's really beneficial for yourself to grow, because that way you're going to help yourself to understand how to live life, because life is to be lived in the moments, and you must understand every single day you live in the moment, you're always going to find what you really need in this moment. So every single day there is one step that you need to do right now to succeed. I promise you, there's one step that you need to overcome right now that you need to succeed with, and you must understand that every single day you can always see the first step. I promise you can see a few steps ahead. I promise you can always see a few steps ahead. So every single day you must go that path, and you must understand to go walk that path alone with Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ will show you the best road. So if you really understand about life, that God's always with you, and God's always walking with you, and you're always walking with God alone. I promise you're always walking with God alone regardless. So if, for example, if you don't want to achieve the first 3 steps of your life, then you have to understand that God's already with you. God's really with you, whether you like it or not. They're saying, I promise you, God's always with you, and you have to understand that it's either you're going to walk with Jesus Christ or you're not going to walk with Jesus Christ. I promise you, if you don't walk with Jesus Christ, I promise you, Jesus Christ is still with you. So the thing is, you're always walking with Jesus Christ regardless. So you may as well walk to Jesus Christ fully. So make sure you understand that way you can understand that it's full direction for yourself to understand how to grow. So you must understand, if you want to grow yourself, and make sure you're away from cocaine abusers. Make sure you're away from people who do drugs. Make sure you never associate with people who do drugs. Make sure you understand every single day, focus on a better direction and associate with positive people. Associate with people who are better than you. So associate with smarter people than yourself, and try to understand every single day to associate with someone who's a content creator and someone who's actually doing content and doing something around life every single day and doing something positive. Because if you associate yourself with me, I'll show you the best road. I always show you the best road. And you must understand that's the whole point of life. Because if you're still in this video, I promise you, you're still willing to learn. And that's the whole point of being a student. And that's the whole point of being in life, which is to be a student. So if you really understand life every single day, and if you really want to help yourself to succeed every single day, then you're going to do whatever it takes to succeed. And you're going to make sure every single day of your life, you're going to do something that's really beneficial. So no matter what happens, guys, just make sure you're positive about every single situation that happens to you in life, and make sure you understand that you have to be positive regardless of the situation. So make sure every single day that you're actually always helping yourself to grow regardless. So if you have someone who has cancer, make sure you be positive about it, and make sure you understand that if you have cancer yourself, then make sure you be positive about it, and make sure you understand every single day to be positive about any situation that can arise. So make sure you understand that you never have cancer, and make sure you understand every single day that you're doing something that's really beneficial for yourself. So make sure you understand that if you really want to understand the better road, it's Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is always showing you that better road. So if you just follow him every single day, if you just follow that road alone, and if you just go alone, I promise you there's a better road always waiting for you, and that's Jesus Christ. And the best direction is Jesus Christ. So if you just focus on that road every single day, I promise you, you're going to understand that there's a better way, and there's a freedom road, and there's a life and truth in Jesus Christ. And you must understand every single day that life is eternal with Jesus Christ. And you have to understand that once you pass away, I promise you, Jesus Christ rose 3 days later, and you must understand that Jesus Christ is going to be waiting for you once you pass away from this lifetime, and he's going to raise you from the dead, and you're going to be someone who's going to heaven with Jesus Christ. And you must understand every single day there is a better world, and that there is heaven. And Dr. Wayne Dyer said to me in terms of his book, where I was reading his book, Inner Wisdom, and you must understand that he had a situation where a woman was so badly damaged, and she was in hospital, and she had surgery, and she was very at the brink of having death. And you must understand that while she was having surgery, 8 people, in terms of 8 doctors, were having surgery on her and doing surgery on her, and 4 people told the 4 doctors that they believe that she's dead, while the other 4 doctors said that they can still help her to become alive. So while that was happening, this woman was in a bright light, and she came out of her body, and she was looking at this white light, and she felt the best ever. She felt the best she's ever been. And you must understand that she chose to come back into her body to live life rather than going with Jesus Christ in that direction. So make sure you understand that what I'm saying is she had a car accident or something like that, and she was badly damaged, and she was at the brink of dying. So she rose out of the body, and she recalls that 4 of the doctors said that she can still make it, and the other 4 doctors said that she can never make this surgery, and that she can never live after this surgery. So make sure you understand that 4 doctors were believing that she can make her life come true, in terms of that she can always penetrate her life to become someone much more in terms of life, where 4 doctors were saying that she is able to become alive, in terms of that they're able to recover her, and 4 doctors were saying that they were unable to recover her. I mean, so make sure you understand that she was at the brink of death, and she came out of her body, and there was a white light, and then there was this massive white light going on, and she recalls feeling the best ever, and she saw her 4 doctors that said that they can recover her, and she saw the 4 doctors that said that it was not possible to recover her. I mean, so make sure you understand that she came back into her body, and she revived herself, and then she said to the 4 doctors that this is what she saw, that these 4 doctors, exactly these 4 doctors believed in her, while these other 4 doctors didn't believe in her. I mean, so it's just a miracle of a story that you understand how a woman at the brink of death was just about to die when she came out of her body, and she's seen the white light, and she's seen God and Jesus Christ, and then she chose to come back into life. I mean, she chose to come back into this life rather than going with God. I mean, and there was this massive white light, and she recalls seeing the 4 doctors that believed in her, that said that they can recover her. I mean, these doctors said that they can recover this woman, but the other 4 doctors, she recalls that said put a stop to her, or make sure that she doesn't recover, or something like that. So make sure you understand that 4 doctors were saying that she can be recovered, and 4 doctors were saying that she was unable to be recovered. I mean, so she was out of her body. I mean, she was out of the body, and she was looking at these 4 doctors. I mean, she was looking at the 8 doctors that were doing the surgery on her. I mean, so it was a white light, and she was actually in the surgery room while she was in a spiritual format, and she was looking at these 8 doctors doing a surgical repair on her while she was on the white light, and she was with God and stuff like that in heaven, and she chose to come back into her body and to live this life. I mean, so it's just amazing, and it's a miracle to understand that. I believe that's true. And you must understand that she even recalls the 4 doctors, and she said these 4 doctors said that they can recover me. I mean, so make sure you understand to believe in God. I mean, make sure you understand to believe in Jesus Christ, because there is a better life, and there is something much better in this world. So make sure you understand that's what Dr. Wayne Dyer said in his nice and beautiful book, Inner Wisdom. So I'm reading Dr. Wayne Dyer's book, Inner Wisdom, and you must understand every single day, focus on the greater life, guys, because it's worth it. So make sure you understand that way. You understand every single day you follow Jesus Christ, because you have to understand that anybody can do it, and you must understand that Jesus Christ can do it, and so can you. So follow Jesus Christ and follow his faith, and have faith in Jesus Christ much more, and have more faith in Jesus Christ every single day, and that way you walk with Jesus Christ alone, and you'll be able to live the best life possible.